Hello everyone, this is Dr. Akansha Chaudhary and today we are here to discuss this case. This is a suspected case of GBS, that is Guillain-Barre syndrome. I have posted this photo of the patient so that we can have a look at the general condition of the patient. The patient is completely bedridden and is on respiratory support. Upon asking history from his guardian said that he first had a respiratory tract infection, following which 2 to 3 days later he developed numbness in his lower limb. The numbness proceeded upwards towards his upper limb, and at a point of time all his four limbs stopped working and he came to the hospital in a quadriplegic state. During the course of stay in the hospital, he was unable to maintain his oxygen saturation and was put on respiratory support. His routine investigation of CBC, LFT, KFT, virology had revealed no significant abnormality. His neck rigidity was absent, Kernick sign was absent, Brzezinski sign was also absent, thereby ruling out meningitis. So the thing which came to our mind could be this could be a case of GBS, that is Guillain-Barre syndrome, which is a demyelinating disorder, and this disorder also has a history of prior respiratory tract or digestive tract infection, due to which the virus generally enters the body. It affects the neurons. There is demyelination, resulting in bilateral ascending symmetrical flaccid palsy, ultimately causing the patient to land up in a state of quadriplegia. The patient gradually also developed truncal palsy. Ultimately, there is palsy of the respiratory muscles. First, he is unable to maintain oxygen saturation, and due to respiratory failure, ultimately the patient dies. Our patient had reached a stage where he was unable to maintain his oxygen saturation. Furthermore, in the initial stages, the bowel and bladder of the patient was spared, but later on, in this case, I have seen the bladder and bowel being involved, though we generally study that bowel and bladder are spared in case of GBS. So, for further supporting our diagnosis, what we did was lumbar puncture for CSF examination. Apart from that, his power both in upper limb and lower limb were normal. In CSF examination, we generally look for cells, proteins, sugar, ADA, that is adenosine deaminase level, and apart from that, most importantly, albumin level. This is because we know that CSF shows albuminocytological dissociation, that is albumin is significantly increased in case of GBS. In this case, surprisingly, our albumin also came out to be on the higher side. I would also like to know from people that do you know any other condition in which there is albumin significantly increased in case of in CSF of the patient? If you do know, please let me know in the comment section, and if you don't, I'll let you know in the next video. So, the lumbar puncture also supported the diagnosis of GBS. Apart from that, we also did two more investigations. One was anti-GM1 antibody and other was anti-GQ1 antibody. This is because we know that there are variants of GBS, most common being AIDP, that is acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, in which the antibody which we see is anti-GM1 antibody. The other being Miller-Fisher syndrome, Miller-Fisher, in which we have anti-GQ1 antibody, and we have the classical triad in Miller-Fisher syndrome, that is ophthalmoplegia, ataxia and areflexia. There are two more variants of GBS, one is Aman and the other one is Amsan. Both had antibody, that is anti-GD1 anti-GD1A antibody. In our patient, the antibody which came out to be positive was anti-GM1 antibody, confirming it to be a case of AIDP, that is acute demyelinating polyneuropathy. So, we have reached our diagnosis. Now the main aim is to treat the patient. First, I would let you know that the treatment of choice for GBS is IV immunoglobulin, but that's quite costly treatment, and our patient was a poor guy, and so we had to refer him to the government hospital at my place. But I would like you to know that IV immunoglobulin is given in a dose form, like the standard is 0.4 gram per kg body weight. So suppose if we take a standard body weight of 50 kg, so it's 0.4 into 50, that comes out approx to be 20 gram per kg body weight. So in total you have to give 100 grams, so 20 grams one day. So in total IV immunoglobulin is given for 5 days, so that 20 into 5 comes out to be 100 gram. So I hope you like this video. I hope I could share something with you all so that you can correlate the clinical point of view of GBS along with the theoretical point of GBS. See you in the next video.